video. So, I'm like most people. Things annoy us in life, things piss us off in life. And this week, and in some ways it isn't just this week, but it's the culmination of things this week. Where you think to yourself, do I let people get away with stuff? Or do I go out there and say something? And 2 points, very valid points. People may think, you're a bit of a snowflake, aren't you? No, I don't think I am. But, you know, we all look at situations, we all read into situations, and we'll get what we get from situations. So, a year ago, hand on heart, I've never been a fan of CAMRA. That will have disapproved of some people. Those people who, who absolutely embrace CAMRA and everything they do, and I assume they do across the whole of CAMRA, they do good. However, my own experience, a year ago, I volunteered, well, it was like October, so it wasn't quite a year, we're talking 9 or 10 months ago. I volunteered for CAMRA, and there was a thing come up, and there was a brew for the, there it is. Oh, Robin Beer Cider Festival 2021, the Nano Brew Day. And, in the grand scheme of things, as a beer reviewer, yeah, I know, you're nothing, but in another way, as somebody who champions good beer, I do think that beer reviewers should be championed. There are lots of us about. There are lots of different beer reviewers. Some doing a great job. As local beer reviewers go, I've really championed the local beer review scene. That is the cake the wife made, and I asked her to make it for Nottingham CAMRA. And like on here, you've got Urban Chicken Ale out of Ilkeston. Fucking brilliant bloke. Darren, his garage brew, he's actually upgraded his kit. And now, if you ever see Urban Chicken Ale on cask, try it. This guy is one of the best lone brewers, not only in the UK, but possibly worldwide. Alter Ego, again, Matt, absolutely stunning micro pub, stunning beers, and I will say a stunning couple as well. I need to get on. Vaguely Brewing out of Bingham. They actually didn't turn up in the end, but they was there, in spirit at least. And again, another belting company who do good beers. Weckless Dweeb from Billsthorpe. Lovely guy. Hoping to test his beers into bottle soon. And see, last year, the day itself was an amazing day. The Nano Brew day. I got invited down, and Linear Brewing Company, also from Bingham. And again, Mark, top class bloke, they're having some great beers. You've got a place to brew, a homebrew club, based in Daybrook, and actually not overly far away from Mr. Wraggy, literally 600 yards. I'm going straight out my back door, 600 or 700 yards. And next door to them, Brew Supplies. And again, Brew, I got all my beer kit stuff from Brew. This time, apart from something. Beeston Hart. Love this guy. Moved back to Beeston, and a top quality bloke who's back into brewing his beers. And again, Snenton Cider Company were also present. First time meeting them, and yeah. And the lady from Snenton Cider Company works for Murphy's, my father-in-law's old workplace. How intertwined the locals can be. And then we've got a Fire Rock Brewing Company. Absolutely love these guys. They came last year. I'd never even heard of half of these people. And as somebody who reviews beers locally, to not even heard of them is stunning. And then obviously Bang the Elephant. Bang the Elephant, what can I say? One of the country's best craft beer breweries. If you've never heard of them, never tried their beer, you are they're pushing boundaries that the big breweries just aren't doing. So in some ways, CAMRA, by promoting them, have done well. There is no fucking Wraggy's beer reviews on there. I mean, I didn't expect there to be, really. But you know, if you're promoting the local scene, and during COVID, across this country, beer reviewers, amongst literally anyone, were the ones pushing the beer community. They were buying beers. Kent Beer Reviews, buying all his beers local. Won't go into a supermarket and buy beers. He was buying beers from pubs, places that needed just that little bit of cash coming in, just to keep them going. Did the same. Got my beers from Adventure Beer, another local company, deserves plaudits. We were CAMRA, nowhere to be seen. So, anyway, that pissed me off last year. Gotta be honest, pissed me off. I was a bit vocal about it. And, you know, like most people, you know, I don't expect things. I really don't. You know, I do this behind me is a hobby. It's a hobby. It's not a fucking cheap hobby, but it's a hobby. And yeah, it's a hobby I enjoy. You know, drinking beers, trying new beers, kid in the sweet shop hobby. Volunteered at Nottingham Beer Robin Hood Beer Festival, Robin Hood Beer and Cider Festival. For those who are cider makers, don't ever get me wrong, I'm as pro cider as I am pro beer. It was always called Robin Hood Beer Festival to me. So it's never against the cider makers. There's just an iteration, there's just something I'll put out there to you, you know, just in case comments and shit. Went down for the day, had a good day down at the beer festival, learned a lot of things. Learned that as a 50-year-old, and I was a 50-year-old last year, I'm a 51-year-old now. I'm a fucking fit 51-year-old. I was bashing them fucking casks, woof, woof, woof. More than me and the owner of Partisan Tavern, Michael up in Nottingham City Centre, was certainly, and Vince Lee, also top class guy, were putting the beers out amazingly. Had a good day there. Did the beer festival. We had a cracking day at the beer festival. We really did. Me, Liam, Mr. Blue Nose Beer Reviews, Hopsy, Mersey Beers, Crummy Beard was there, John Whitby was there, Chris M, he was there. Well, to be honest, mate, I was steaming by that time, and I can't remember half the people that came up and talked to me. And it's not because I'm ignorant, it's because I was pissed. But I still carried on till half 11. Dave, go Ted! Oh, one of my absolute favourites. Love this guy. He's an inspiration to me, and you know, he's been on a journey himself. We've talked about journeys. You've all seen journey I've been on. Anyway, after the beer festival, posted the review, you know, thanking the beer festival, and I got the snottiest fucking comment that said, it's the Robin Hood Beer and Cider Festival, but it's the tone of the voice. It wasn't a nice way of saying it. It was a cuntish way of saying it. I'm like, oh. And I thought, was that me? Did I, you know, take too much into that comment? And then I had multiple sources within the Nottingham beer community say, God, they said something shitty then, didn't they? There was a shitty tone of voice that they used. And I'm like, yeah, well, just me then. Okay. And there's been comments in the last year. Wherever I've commented, where I've had, shall we say, offish comments back, shitty. You know, basically, instead of being, there's a right and wrong way to talk to anybody. And whether or not you're somebody from YouTube, or you're a member of the public, or you're somebody who's on their first venture into beer, you talk to people as you yourself would want to be talked to. So if you're a dickhead and you're talking to people in a dickhead way, expect to get a dickhead way back. And yeah, and I've had this for a year, and I'm thinking to myself, fucking hell, what have I done to upset these people? And they pissed me off with certain comments, yeah, but it's. And then the other day there was a comment. There was a thing the other day where asking for something to do with brewery bars for Nottingham CAMRA, and I just commented. I says, "Bang the Elephant, Fire Rock, 1 or 2 would do a good job," or something along them lines. And I got a bit of a snotty comment back. And then I says, look, I meant for the brewery bars. You know, I think they do a great job on the brewery bars. And then I got one saying about all the logistics, the pain and all this and shit. And I thought, and again, it was the comment. It was an offish comment. And it's like, is this how you are in real life? Because in real life, if you're giving out offish comments to people, then, yeah, well, trust me, you know, there's only so much of that people are going to stand before something's said and other things. And in the end, now I've come off and wiped the slate clean with CAMRA, certainly Nottingham CAMRA. And yeah, and I'm also going to keep it just to me. But if you're trying to bring people into your company, and I did a video the other week saying about CAMRA, are they relevant in this day and age? And I noticed the COVID years and the disappearance of CAMRA, and you know, CAMRA supporting the likes of Wetherspoons. Now let's be fair, Wetherspoons is good for cheap ale. Is it ale at its best? No. Is it cask at its best? No. The best cask is from pubs where you will pay a bit more. There are lots of fantastic, absolutely, and I'm talking just Nottingham, so I don't know the whole country, but everyone watching this now and in the future will know that there's some amazing pubs out there that are doing cask ale from all sorts of breweries, delivering the best beer we can, and that is to be applauded. You know, cask ale is king. Cask is king, without a shadow of a doubt. I learnt this last year with Wraggy's Golden Ale, Lincoln Green Brewing Company. This time last year, I brewed the beer with them, and I know this, and it's an exploration of things. I, because of anxiety and mental health, kept away from pubs, and also money, obviously. You know, there's more factors than just one. But going back in last year, and I've been going to pubs now quite regularly. Spending money when I can spend money, obviously. You know, not rich, not in a job that's well paid, not for my skill set. No. But not when I see what's out there. And I could be getting another £6,000 minimum a year more for my skill set. Do I love my job? Yes. Do I love the people in the job? Mostly. But such is life. So, yeah. And until things change, that's me done with Nottingham CAMRA. Yeah. There's only so much negative vibes you can get towards you where you think, no, not gonna. I'll support breweries, beer reviewers, support breweries, beer reviewers, and people that are positive in a good way. And there are plenty of people out there that are really positive in a good way. I'll support them, but I will not support those that every single time you comment, you get a shit comment or offish comment back, and it's like, why are you giving me an offish comment when my comment was actually really nice? It was recommending a local brewery that deserves its plaudits, and you give me a shitty comment. It wasn't unnoticed. People from the beer community noticed, and not going to point them people out, but because I was quite worried that it was me, and just like taking things to heart a bit too much, which can be the thing when you've got mental health issues. But no, it wasn't. So there we go. Secondly, my wife, she does cakes. She does. I mean, that's one of them. A barrel cake for not, and she does cakes. She does good cakes. That was a freebie. I asked her to do it for last year's brew day, the nano brew day. She's a lovely person. She has to put up with me, so that's something. And there were other breweries there last year. I've just remembered that Lazy Bay Brewery were also in attendance, and that guy was working hard. But also Simon King from the ex Blue Monkey head brewer, Bunny Hop House, he was also there. So apologies, people in over there. If I've missed anybody, it's not because I'm an ignorant twat, it's because I forget. But Bird-Eyed Micro Pub, he was there also, yeah, and I still need to go to that pub. And my admiration for the beer scene is amazing, yeah. Although, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the wife. She's had a few cakes. She makes cakes. She earns little to no money off them. So she does the cakes. The ingredients aren't cheap. The electricity. We use electricity. It's not cheap these days, as you all bloody know. And she's had this woman. Now I won't tell you the colour, ethnicity, or like that. She's had this bloody woman. First cake she got off. Now you can send my wife a photo of cakes, and it's very difficult to replicate any cake because of you can't get everything perfect. If it's a drip cake, the drips will only do what the drips want to do. You could do a drip 20 times, and only once out of 20 will it be that perfect fucking drip. I've seen it. I've seen her do it, and it's difficult, and it's the cost of the ingredients involved, because you do it once and it doesn't work, then you have to rip off all the sugary icing. Can't think of the word then. And start again. That icing is not cheap, So in some ways it's a one-trick pony. It does what it does. She did this cake. The cake would have tasted amazing. The cake looked amazing. I can't show you on camera because she's not put it on any social media at the moment. She had this customer, and this customer, the first cake she did, the customer's moaning about the shade of cake. The cake looked perfect to the picture, bar the shade. There was a slight difference in shade. This customer was bitching about the shade. And it's like, I mean, my wife let her have it cheap, despite the hours she put into it. And I said to her at the time, I says, I won't fucking do it again for her because she's ungrateful. You know, for me, she's a piss taker. She's one of these that fucking wants a cake off you. And she's taking the piss. And this person has had 5 cakes. 2 of the cakes, oh, she fucking loved them. Two of the other cakes, she complained, got them cheaper. And it's like, I know your fucking game. You're an absolute piss taker. You're one of these fuckers that complains, wants stuff for free. This cake last night, my son's birthday yesterday, and you know, he's 12 years old. On his fucking birthday night, my wife comes home. She's been working on the cake in the daytime while my son's at school. She comes home after we've gone out and been bowling and McDonald's with his friends, and she's back on doing this fucking cake. And she did the cake. The effort she puts in is immense. You know, I can't tell you how much pride she takes in the cake she does. She wants to deliver something amazing. The cakes look fucking amazing. And she's messaged this fucking woman. And this woman's been a cunt about it. And then she's telling us like late last night. And you know, when you've had a drink, you're like, the fuck? Tell her to fuck off. And this cake's got money through the cake. One of these where you pull a thing up and it's got like a box inside with money in. And she took it to the woman, and she turned around foolishly. She turned around last night and said, "Look, you can have the cake for free." And that's what the woman wanted. That was the game. The game is slag the cake off, make the person who's done the cake feel fucking shit, and fucking slag it off. And this woman's done that. And my wife, she's too nice for her own good. And I think I am as well in some ways. And you know, you can be too nice in this world, and then people abuse you and take the piss. And the fucking, she took this cake, the woman's fucking looking down at my wife. It's like, who the fuck are you to look down at my wife? She's made this cake, you fucking ungrateful twat. And you know, if I'd have been there, and I wasn't, I was out working this morning, you know, I'm not some fucking dole dosser, I'm a fucking worker. Although a lot of people on the dole, you know, a lot of people are just people who can't get jobs. Don't take that comment to heart. But this fucking person was looking at my wife with disdain. She's looking at the cake like, shit. The fucking cake was not shit in any way, shape or form. Fucking will taste amazing, looks amazing. It doesn't look like the cake from 2 years ago that my wife did. Ingredients aren't the same. COVID has put a paid to that. You can't get the same ingredients. Nothing's the same. You can only do your best. My wife did her best. It fucking looks amazing. This, for the want of a word, bitch. When I know what a fucking game is, and everybody we've spoke to today showed pictures of the cake. The cake looks fucking amazing. The cake is amazing. It's going to taste amazing. My wife's cakes never ever taste anything but amazing. Anybody who's ever had a cake has said that. Everybody. 100%. The cakes always taste amazing. The cakes always look amazing. And this fucking woman just goes, "Oh, I'll give you £10 for petrol." Hold on a minute. Where's the fucking money for the ingredients? The fucking electricity? Eh? You didn't like the cake, but you're willing to fucking take it. Yeah. As soon as my wife's gone, she's fucking laughing her head off. You'll never get another fucking cake. And my wife, she's trying to be all diplomatic. Fuck diplomacy at times. You know, fuck it. So I'm on YouTube. I don't care shit. It's disrespectful. I hate being disrespected. You know, I don't disrespect anybody. No, I fucking absolutely try not to. You know, and if I do, I land on art, pull my fucking hand up and say, I'm wrong. Which is fair play, isn't it? You know, if you're wrong, you're wrong. But this fucking, and it winds us up. And it's not just me, it's wind up. It's wind up my family. It's wind up all our friends. And people I know on YouTube and across the internet is pissed off as well, who know what my wife's cakes are like, and it has, and it just fucking needles you. Yeah. So for anybody out there, and this is where this is me coming out to you now and turning it around. You do a job for somebody. That job's a good job, and they do this because they're freeloading bastards. Fucking don't let them get away with it. My wife, in retrospect, you know when she looked at that cake and dirty looks at the cake, my wife should have said, hold on a minute. You're not willing to pay for the cake. Pull the money out. Here's the money. You aren't having the cake. I'll give this cake to an old age pensioners home, somebody who's home, you know, a homeless charity or something. They can enjoy the cake. I'll get peace of mind that they enjoyed the cake. You can fuck off. You will never ever get a cake from me. And if I know any other cake makers, you won't get a cake from them, because 3 out of 5 cakes she's done this. She's a clever fucker. And I know people who go to restaurants and complain just to get free meals. My wife's worked with somebody at QuickSave when QuickSave was around, and this bloke, big tall tosser, used to turn around and say, "Oh, I go and complain for anything, and I'll get it for free." And it's like, that's your thing in life, yeah. So you're going to complain. Somebody, the waitress, the chef, is going to be unduly. If it's fair play, it's fair play. But somebody's going to get unduly fucking bollocks or lose their job because you've been a cunt. Fucking just man nothing. So there you go. Quite a long rant. Do apologise for any profanity, abusive language or whatever. But you know, sometimes you just fucking need to say it, don't you? Anybody else has got anything rants out there who will, please say it, you know. Be careful not to get yourself into trouble by saying stuff, you know. If it's about a job, be careful, yeah, because the world listens. YouTube listens. What I've said tonight, I know that people from CAMRA locally will listen. Someone's going to watch. Am I bothered? No, because the points are there, the valid points. It's all on the internet to see. People can go back in and look at Wraggy's beer reviews and CAMRA and see where comments I've said nice stuff and I've like offish comments said to me over the last year or so. God knows why. But obviously, remembering my wife, she does so hard, works so hard, puts so much effort in for no money whatsoever. She literally loses money on cakes. By the time she puts the effort in, she makes little and half the minimum wage, if that. We probably lose money because of the cost of electricity these days. But it's her hobby. And then you get people like that taking the piss. Fucking wrong, innit? Right, that's it. I've been down the shed far too long. I proper woke up. I've had a good old rant. And cheers all. And if anybody's made it all the way through to the end, fucking tell me. You've done well. Yeah, anyway, I need a beer now. I poured that beer out. I've never actually drank it. Cheers.